All right, welcome to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. Let me give you the rundown on what we're going to talk about today. Some pretty cool stuff, okay? So, first, I want to talk about a little saying that I kept hearing in my head as I was watching your videos of the leg work that we did for homework, the hind leg, lower leg work. Amazing, amazing job this week. I was super happy with all the videos that I saw. Everything looked really good. We're going to talk about that. I want to talk about just a couple of the videos that I saw and kind of some cool stuff, and then also something that I'm pointing out a little bit to you guys. I'm going to point out just a couple things I noticed. Okay. And then we're going to talk about our homework for this week. So if you want to write it down, I did not have time to do my post yet. It's going to be hind leg range of motion. Hind leg range of motion. One of my favorite things, hind leg range of motion. Um, so what we're going to do something a little bit different because it's always me just talking forever. I'm going to have you guys submit what you think. So I'm going to ask you some questions on what muscles do you think this is? What is one way that you could tell that does not have a full range of motion? So I'm going to be quizzing you guys. If you're new, just ride the train and enjoy the view, okay? But feel free. I know a lot of you guys have been with me for a long time, so you already know these answers, okay? So we're gonna go through it. Wanda's in her car. Don't be driving off the road trying to answer something. So we're gonna just do something a little different today and have you guys participate. But don't feel like you need to participate, and also don't feel like you're supposed to know everything that I'm talking about, okay? So those of you that have been with me probably know the answers, and those of you that are just on the journey, we are learning together. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the phrase that kept coming to mind as I was watching your videos this week. Um, I came up with loving something doesn't have to be extravagant. Okay? Loving something does not have to be extravagant. And I know that sometimes when I'm watching videos, I go, oh my gosh, they love that. They love that. And I'm sure that if we were to play it for the public, people would be like, what are you talking about? That horse didn't even move. Okay. But we know the difference. Okay. Because we have trained ourselves to pick up on the smallest cues that these amazing horses give us that they love something. And that has been very predominant this entire week. Okay. So loving something does not have to be extravagant. I know that the videos that go viral are the ones where the horse is like, yes, this is awesome. And I have those videos, but I like the videos where it's a tiny, tiny movement or a tiny glance or a tiny little thing that they do that shows you something that maybe you didn't know before. Okay, so those are the videos I like. And I'm finding that the people that are on my page, that's what they like too. Okay, so I had a couple videos go viral of the horses like really loving something where they're just like moving back and forth. And I found that a lot of the comments and stuff that I was getting were from people that didn't really know horses, and I could tell based off the comment. And that's fine. I like it when people don't have horses and watch. I think that's awesome. But when I put up videos of like behavioral things or little tiny things where horses are either saying no or saying yes in different ways, those are the videos where I see where the horse people are. Like, oh yeah, you get it. You're catching on to what you're buying what I'm selling here. So that's pretty cool. But this week was all about that. It was tiny little movements. So I want to talk a little bit. I have a whole list of horses that I noticed loved stuff, but were not super extroverted or, really kind of showing it in huge ways. So Huck, Adobe, Busy, Martha, and Lily. Okay. And that's just the ones that I did today. So I know I did some while I was on vacation, but um, Huck, Adobe, Busy, Martha, and Lily all really enjoyed this week's homework. Um, but just, there was nothing crazy in the videos. They just enjoyed it. I do want to show one of Martha doing something that I think is really funny when they do it. So let me pull it. Oh, here it is. Perfect. Perfect timing. Hold on. Let me mute myself here first. Mute. Okay. All right. Share. Okay, so this is Jenny and Martha, and Martha was just, I'll play it here for a second. Martha was just loving it. Okay, look at the body sway in this. Did you guys see how she was swaying her body? That's relaxation. That's really nice. Okay, but I wanted to show you, look at her head goes lower, her eyes get closed. Look at her. That was so fun. Okay, this is her loving it. She loves this. Loves it. But I wanted to show you something I had warned you about that might happen to not be afraid of it if it happens because Martha did it. So it's at the very end here. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Did you guys see it? Okay, watch her again. You can tell right here she goes, "Oh yeah, that's a good spot. Get it." And then she picked her leg up. Okay. So this made me think of a story. And this is very common with horses. You do have to be a little careful, but I was massaging this older horse. That's what kind of got me onto I need to talk about older horses. So this whole next coming week, all my newsletters are going to be about senior horses. So if that's of interest to you, make sure to watch or read my newsletters because I'm going to talk about it all week. But I remember massaging this old horse and she hadn't had a massage. Uh, I don't know if she's ever had one. But she hadn't had one in a really long time. And she was so wonderful to work on. I still think about her because I could just tell she loved it. She loved it so much and she was so thankful that I was doing it. It was just the sweetest thing. And she was just, bony and old and, you could tell she's kind of worked her whole life and she's so sweet. And so I was doing that exact move that Jenny just showed us. And she picked her leg up. And I was like, "Oh, do you want your little teeth scratched and rubbed?" And she was and I started rubbing her little area. And I looked at the owner because the owner was videotaping for me. And I said, "Oh, does she like her little teeth rubbed?" And she's like, "I have no idea." And I was like, "Oh no, you don't know." Um, because yes, she did like it. And yes, she did need it. So she got a very special treat that day. And I was like, "Well, just so you know, she likes it. And I'd like you to do this from now on because she needed it." So that was super cute. But they will do that if they want them to be rubbed up underneath there. And also in the summertime when those little nasty flies, they do that stuff a lot. They're like, "Yeah, please get me everywhere underneath there." Okay, so just be aware of that movement. If you're working, like if you start working in an area that's lower and they do something kind of funny with their legs, a lot of people go, "Oh, don't kick me or whatever." Yeah, they're not kicking you. I mean, if they're giving other signs that they don't like it, obviously back off. But if that's all they do is just open that leg up, that's yes, please come on in. How do you want your coffee sort of deal. Okay. So that was super cute. Martha loves it until you get too close to the teeth, but she's polite about, yeah, exactly. I love, doing that, right? Because and that's where the communication comes in. So they like it to hear and then don't do that so much. Okay. So that's super fun. Let's see. Leanne this week, oh, and I didn't find it either, made up a new move and I'm gonna now incorporate it. I'm gonna call it, oh, I gotta come up with a good name. I'll think of a good name because Rogue Rita has a move too. And so now Leanne has a move with her horse Adobe. So let me find that. this is what happens when you start massaging and you've been massaging for a while. So what I say generally is you need to massage 100 horses and then you will be uh, pretty good. All right, so 100 horses. Leanne's probably up there. She has her own 4 horses and they get a lot of attention. So she's probably been there for a while. But here as I find this, I hope I can find it because it was pretty fast. You guys can watch. Oops, go away. And I'll see if I can. It's funny, Zoom like disappears on me sometimes, and then I have to get it to come back. That's not it. Oh, here we go. Here you are. Lost you for a moment. Okay. Share screen, share. Okay. So I'll let you guys watch as I find it. So here's the video, and this is another example of just a horse kind of loving it. Okay. And I don't know if it was on this side or, okay. Yeah. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that move she just did. And he loves it. Watch right here. Look at lick and chew, lick and chew, lick and chew. I'm incorporating it. I'm going to put it in the clinic. Okay. So she's grabbing the fetlock hair because he's got kind of little hairy ankles. And she's just jiggling it. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Look at, he loves it. Look at lick and chew. Okay. So the reason I like that is because there's tension stored in the fetlock. And a lot of time it's like the fascia or the skin. Have you guys ever touched a cannon bone where the skin is tight? That's it. That's it. And that happens around the fetlocks also. It happens around the knees. That's why we do the knee scratch. Okay. Fluffing the feathers. Oh, yeah, I like that. Leanne's fluffing of the feathers. I like it. So, and it's also a great way to find out if there's any gunk in there too. But that's why we do the knee scratch and the hock scratch in the front, sides, and back, right? Because that fascia gets tight around the joints. It gets tight going down the cannon bones. It gets tight in the fetlocks. Okay, so she kind of grabbed the fetlock hair and jiggled it. Now, what does that remind you guys of? There's another move I teach that that's very similar to that. Yep, Wanda got it. Anybody else know it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So also, I didn't think about that, but yeah, the crest pull and jiggle, but I do the one specifically for the fetlock or the forelock, sorry. The forelock. I just grab their little forelock, boom, and I just jiggle it around. Okay? And they like it. They like it. Okay? So I liked that move that she did. And that's what I'm saying. Forelock. Oh, I did. Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like once you learn the moves that I've taught you, like, Rebecca kind of made up her own kind of move too. It was something about like a jostle somewhere. She did something a little bit different. And I was like, I like that. Do it. Do it. So when you guys are comfortable, play around with some stuff. I mean, I'm always doing something weird and finding out that horses like it. Okay. So go for it. That was awesome. Um, got it. Martha Legless, we talked about that. Okay. I want to talk about Johnny Cash. Okay. He won huge improvements, huge improvements. But today he kind of showed, he still showed how he has to cope with situations. Okay, and I wanted to show it to you because it's just something to always be paying attention to. And you guys know, you guys know I have a book called Seven Telltale Signs of Tension. And that book is about behaviors that horses do that show they have tension. Okay. And Senior Johnny Cash here did those. So let me pause this. He showed a couple of them. And what's great is that other horses here have shown them also. I love to see these diminish over time, right? Chester, when I got him, did like three or four of the seven telltale signs of tension behaviors. And so it's really interesting to watch them and then notice it. And for some of them, I address it, and some of them I don't. I just make a mental note. Okay. But I love seeing them, recognizing them, continuing to work with the horse how they need to be worked with, adjusting my behavior to make sure that I don't push them over the edge, how I talk about that. I don't want to push them over the edge. I want to take them right to the edge, but we don't want to go over the edge. Okay. Um, and then watching that behavior diminish. So let me hit share here and show that because it was interesting. Here's the video. Here we go. Play. So I'm just gonna let this play for a little while. Can anyone write down what they're seeing? Like what telltale sign of tension are you seeing here? Yep. Yep. Okay. But look at how long it's going on. Okay? It's going on a while. Please go away. Yes. Okay. We're gonna keep watching this because I want you to see what happens. All right. Yeah, I'm sure he's holding his breath, Leanne. There, okay. Look, 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 look. Okay. And she's touching his feet right now, so I just want you to know that. Okay. And then look. So what just happened there? What just happened there? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Step forward. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that. Um, let's come back here. Let me come back. Yeah, it like disappears. I gotta go find you now. Here you are. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, what we noticed was I mean, you guys, seriously, like just do that yourself. You can feel the tension in your body. Okay. So it's like he was like, just handle it, deal with it. Okay. So his eyes were really wide. He wasn't breathing. His head was up, like everything that you guys had said. Okay. Everything that you guys had said. Looking away, internal, external. Yeah, at one point in time, I was like, I don't know if he went internal or external. You know what I mean? He was out. He was gone. And he was coping with the leg work. So he had a fair amount of tension in his legs. And he was just like, deal with it, deal with it, deal with it. Okay. And he did really well. So, yeah, external, I don't know. I think he was external. Uh, High head, not breathing, eyes were, stuck and glazed. Okay, external. Yeah. So, a lot of that. And then it's like he had this moment where he was like, okay. And he kind of went, all right, it's not too bad. Okay. And then he went, I gotta move now. Okay. I gotta move. I gotta feel something. Okay. So yeah, Kristen said I normally call it leave the building, right? So, um, it was just kind of wild. What's going on here in the,
So yeah, there's a troll here. I did not
yeah,
say that.
no,
I
I
didn't,
know. So let's see who's the troll.
I don't know. Well, yeah, someone's in the meeting that's not being very friendly.
Let's see. Let me see if I can figure it out here. I'm gonna go ahead and end this and then jump back on, would you guys? Jump back on.